Like, what N'Keal Harry does is make Julian Edelman a top 10 wide receiver in redraft for the first time ever.
Yeah, I think so. Right around 10, 10, 12 for sure.
Yeah.
We've eaten our vegetables. We've had a bite of the potatoes. Let's get into the steak. Rookie running backs. This is really what people are interested in.
And this
there are a lot.
I don't know whether that's true, but they should be. This is where you should put your effort in. If you're going to evaluate talent, if you're going to like sneak in and find out who the best is, running back is where to put all your effort.
Josh Jacobs, 101 for me.
Yeah.
Do you have a counter?
No.
No.
If we're going to argue about anything, it's going to be 2 and 3.
Yeah, and I think we will. I think it's going to be pretty heavily argued by us, but at the end of the day, I think we can both agree that no matter what, we're only talking about these 3 running backs making an immediate impact on their team.
What is going to happen with this 2 and 3 is we're going to debate whether somebody has the opportunity or whether they'll get it. You know Josh Jacobs has it. So that's why you're done here, is because he has the job.
And one of my favorite things that I saw post-draft is, 17-player sample size. The average first running back taken in the draft puts up a combined total about 900 yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, 3 receiving touchdowns, and I think this is a fine floor for Josh Jacobs.
It's a perfect floor.
I like this as a floor. 9 total touchdowns, about 1,100 yards.
Oh, I don't think that's the floor. I think that's what you're betting on.
Oh, I think that's a good floor.
I think that the Oakland Raiders are a clumsy, mismanaged, idiotic team that may pick the wrong thing and may mismanage it during the year.
For a guy, I think he'll be a very productive back. I don't think he'll ever be a top.
It's obviously the best bet.
I don't think he'll ever be the number 1 back, but that's
it's the best bet. But this is a shit year.
Oh yeah, this is. Speaking as someone who has a first overall pick in a dynasty draft, I can't imagine a worse year to have the number 1 running back or the number 1 pick in a rookie draft.
You take the running back with his best clear path to great production. And that's definitely Josh Jacobs. Whatever I think.
Why don't you try to convince me of who the 102 would be in a rookie running back?
In my opinion, David Montgomery from the Chicago Bears is the next player you should take. And it is because he is the second best runner with a clear path to a role. They're going to methodically move down the field, and his ability to shake and lose people is his calling card. He's going to be a great running back.
They moved up to get Montgomery, and they saw their Jordan Howard 2.0, and they didn't flinch. They said, this is our guy. We want him. I personally take big stock in players when teams do that. I love that.
It's hard to believe that they don't want to feature them. Why would they move up?
No, yeah. I think that he's going to bring the versatility they wished and tried to make out of Jordan Howard, and he will most definitely have the best immediate opportunity. Even Josh Jacobs might have a little not immediate. Montgomery's going to come in and just be the guy. They're just going to do that. Cohen's going to do what Cohen does. Jacobs might have to.
It's a separate offensive position that they've created. They've created a new offensive position.
Yeah.
Which is Tariq Cohen.
Yeah.
So he's going to get to do what he wants to do. Every other aspect of that, I don't do a lot of looking around, but contact balance, bounce off people. That is a thing that he does. He's a great runner.
Yeah.
Who just can catch. That's all they wanted out of Jordan Howard. Can you catch? And no. I cannot. I cannot catch the ball.
And that was definitely why they felt the need to move on. We want to be able to mask our play, and you can't do that because you can't catch.
To be fair, as a warning for people who are drafting David Montgomery, there isn't a lot of pass game evidence out there. So
Also, not crazy about the 4.6 time at the combine, but
Indeed.
speed to weight adjustment does make him
and he's
faster
huge.
than he looks.
He's 5'10", 222 pounds. So the size speed weight ratio gets upped from that.
Right,
Like
for sure.
He's
for
a big
sure
dude.
It does, but at the end of the day, 4.6 for a running back is a scary time.
I think he's worth consideration in a dynasty draft as a person you could see as the starter in Buffalo in Chicago.
And I think he is. I think he is the 102. Josh Jacobs is the safe thing. He is probably the bigger immediate impact total season. I think Josh Jacobs has a longer run, better outline, but nobody has a better, longer outline to me than my third running back, Sanders. Sanders, Barkley's backup, drafted to the Eagles, who did trade for Jordan Howard. Big upside here. If you were somebody who was patient enough last year on Nick Chubb in a redraft league, you can do it again here. I think by midseason, he will have that job full in hand. My favorite thing that I've seen post-draft about Sanders is plain and simply that the Philly GM has only drafted 3 running backs in the first 3 rounds, and those 3 running backs are Sanders, McCoy, and Westbrook. That's good company to be in. Doesn't make him them, but that's good company to be in. If this individual recognizes your talent on that level, I think that needs to be respected.
I'll just read the things that I wrote down. Competent glider with good speed, not explosive. Suffers from not Saquon comparisons. Good hands and size. He is a 3-down back. If they're going to have a 3-down back, we don't know whether the Eagles ever will again, but he has every opportunity to be it. And it's a good offense. If you can be just the back in that offense, it'll work out for you.
I mean, there's a couple of other fun guys. I'd like to bring up Mattinson from Minnesota. I think that with Dalvin Cook's injury history, this is a late flyer.
We can be sneaky about this. We know about Minnesota more than other people do.
Oh, most
and
definitely.
we can take this as a thing. He is important because he is what Dalvin Cook isn't. They're going to use him heavily because he is the exact thing that he isn't.
Dalvin Cook is the bastion of talent that you want at the position, and Mattinson is just the good thing you hope to have. It's a nice balance, all in all. But for me, even in a redraft league, this is an important player to be watchful of as
and it makes
OTAs
sense to
and training camp goes on, because if anything happens to Cook, this is most likely the guy. There's not another person in town right here, right now, that is going to challenge for RB1. So, this would be my question.
Nobody's going to challenge for RB1.
No. This is the question that I had written down in my notes that I would like to pose to you. Is there another player that you could see during the season, right? If Dalvin Cook goes down, is there another running back you could see where if they go down, everyone is flocking to their waiver wires trying to get this guy? I think that's what Mattinson is. I think he is the number 1 waiver wire pickup, so why not take the flyer and roster him at the end of your team?
You should. They picked him to complement very directly Dalvin Cook. The one thing Dalvin Cook can't do, this guy can. So that's it. That's all they did.
All right, so all this guy does is stay healthy. Got it.
It's funny. He moves the bile.
Yeah.
And that'll be great.
Short yardage situations is actually a fun fact that I do know about him. When they needed a yard or less, they moved it 3.
I have a better one. According to PFF, which we all have to love now, Best red zone running back in all of college. When you have Dalvin Cook, what else are you going to pick? Besides the best. So Devin Singletary is my next thing after Madison. I think Devin Singletary is interesting because the two people in front of him could break like old glass. We're talking about running backs and we're talking about stock in the field. And I do think it's the only position that's worthwhile to stock. Devin Singletary matters for the Bills, and Damian Harris matters for the Patriots. Those are my next two. And then that's actually a tier. You could say Benny Snell, but you shouldn't.
I think Snell only matters in an injury situation or if...
He's a goal line spell for Connor. Well, can I just say everything? I'll say it really fast. Because other people were picked. And it's way more worthwhile to pick running backs than it is wide receivers. You just should pick running backs. Just pick them. So a lot of these people can just be on a team. Benny Snell, goal line spell for Connor. Bryce Love, burner, home run hitter. Really crowded backfield. It's not gonna matter. Dallas, picked a 4th round running back. Tony Pollard, Elliott backup. He probably is the Elliott backup. Like, he probably really is the Elliott backup. He's not invincible. So it's worth knowing. Justice Hill on Baltimore. The team runs a lot. Gus Edwards was good. Limited player. But Gus Edwards was good. Rodney Anderson, constantly injured, but talented. Jordan Scarlett, the only inside runner on Carolina's whole team. Cameron Payne is a bad player. Like, he's bad at football, but he's clearly good enough to stay on a team. So he must be good at something. I have no idea what that is. But Jordan Scarlett is actually good at inside running. Quadri Wilson, big fat goal line for Atlanta. They want to keep their starters good. They want to keep Ito Smith and Devontae Freeman good. They want to keep them good. We all know who they all are. And Trayvon Williams, solid depth, Cincy. Mike Weber.
I'm going to pause you there because I think Trayvon Williams is the sneakiest of the late round guys. I think Gio Bernard should have immediately applied for unemployment the minute that draft pick was called in.
There you go. This is why we have to go deep. You know we're all looking for deep.
I would like to bring up Henderson from LA. This is a guy I wish would have landed in a different spot. The home run threat. There are very few things as thrilling as watching a home run running back just swing for the fences, and that is this guy. And
to support your idea, one cut slasher, and he will be playing in an offense that will give him the best opportunity. That first decision is going to be helpful.
And I don't think that it's mutually exclusive. I don't think Todd Gurley's fallen down the list very far. And Henderson can still have quality success of his own. Look at all of the multi-back systems that have been going on over the last 5 years. And I think you'll see that there's plenty of room for Henderson to succeed without robbing Gurley of top-tier status. So just some things to think about, gang. So thank you, Speculation Nation. Those are our lightning round picks. We gave you a little dynasty insight, a little bit of strategy insight. And, this is episode 1. Be patient, and we're only going to get sexier from here. So we love you, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.